Today I'm showing you a high intensity smite build for malice high intensity, heresy high intensity, or any form of damnation. Anything below damnation that isn't high intensity just doesn't really require smite, and you would be better off with a more offensive build. And I will link a really good offensive build in the description and pin comment for when you're not playing high intensity. But for high intensity, Smite really does shine. So it is warp damage. We are going to be taking Soul Stealer. We're going to be taking more toughness regen on Quell. Next, we're going to be taking Battle Meditation. And it might seem like this is not good, but it's actually really good for this build. So we get a 10% chance to Quell 10% peril on kill. But you got to keep in mind that we're facing many 50 and 100 basic infested mixed in hordes. So now if we kill at least 50, now we're looking at a very good chance to quell 50% peril if it's a huge massive horde and we kill 100 in our charge, which is fully capable of doing. Now we have a very good chance to quell 100%, which will give us enough charge to kill the Ragers as well mixed in, keeping it going even longer, basically wiping out besides Maulers and Crushers and Bulwarks. So, well, mutants too. But you'll still be holding them for much, much longer, which is really big. So, we have to take this, but it's also a really good passive with this build. Then, of course, we'll be coming down to Smite, and we'll be taking Lightning Storm. Now, it's been confirmed that Enfeeble does not work with the charged attack, and even still, we need that 1 point elsewhere. So, since it doesn't work with the charge attack, it's useless because we're only full charging our Smite. 99.9% of the time you use Smite is going to be full charged. Well, just about that. So, Enfeeble is out. It does not make the cut. Next, we'll be reducing the cooldown on elite and special kills. Even though we don't kill a lot, we're killing nothing with Soul Blaze. So, this is 100% better than that. Now, if you are going to run the Venting Shriek build, then that is worth considering. I'm going to show you how to run it both ways. It's the same build. You're just going to have to pick, do you want the bubble or do you want the Venting Shriek? The bubble is the safer play. The Venting Shriek does give you the ability for a little bit more offense. Now, I'm going to be putting the defensive way and the safer way, since this build's number one problem is range. You want to be holding your smite on all the crowds, but while you're doing this, even though you have infinite dodges, you can still occasionally get clipped by gunners. So we don't really have much range defense at all while holding down smite. So the bubble is a really nice smite combo, even though the Venting Shriek with the path down to the Soul Blaze, the Creeping Flames. And what you want to do is you want to build up to like 80-90% and then use it so you don't lose your actual hold on your smite and it's just a continuous stream on the smite. Then based off 80% plus, you'll hit 6 stacks of Soul Blaze, which will basically be enough to finish a lot of stuff off, giving you probably more procs on your reduction, longer time on your smite. Even though you lost whatever warp charges you had, this is a more offensive way to play it, but definitely more risky than going the bubble route. And we will be taking this all the way down to the 6, even though 6 is going to be really dependent on how frequently at the moment you're using the bubble or the Venting Shriek. Sometimes it might be a little bit hard to get the 6, but you also got to keep in mind, if we're killing hordes of like 50 and 100, even the ones we're not killing, we have a 4% chance. So every 100 that die, that's 4 warp charges roughly right there. So we are getting a lot of warp charges through Psychic Vampire. Now, you could run Essence Harvest. It is an option, but personally, for this build, I feel like Inner Tranquility just helps me keep my Smite going for longer, holding it for longer, and I feel like that's the goal if you're running Smite and you're just gonna have to keep dodging, just stay dodging. But if you want, you can run that instead. That's gonna be your personal preference right there. See which one you like better. And we're going to be running definitely Warp Rider. Since we have the point for the Quick 15, we'll pick that up. Next, we're going to come down and pick up Kinetic Deflection, which is huge. I don't know why any Psyker would not be running this for our melee weapon, because we're using it more defensively, far more defensively than offensively. You have two choices, the MK5 or the MK4. The MK5 will clear out trash a little bit faster in front of you due to its moveset not having a single target as its opening move. The MK4 will give you a little bit better on its first opening charged attack, especially when using it powered up. Now, through extensive testing, I did realize that stamina is better than block efficiency for how we use this sword. It does combo better with kinetic deflection than block efficiency. So top perks would be stamina, and then a close second would be block efficiency for a little bit more, or flak armor to clear trash out of you a little bit faster and get back into your smite or your staff. Then we do want deflector, so we're blocking ranged attacks while we're pushing and clearing the trash out directly in front of us to get back to our smite. Or, well, not warp. And for our second blessing, we want slaughter as the top pick, and unstable power is a close third pick. Definitely slaughter, though, is a stronger second blessing. If you're going the shield route, you can get away with the surge staff for this build. If not, I would recommend taking the void strike staff. Now, if you're going to take the surge, just take exactly what's on the screen. That is the best setup right now for the surge staff. And if you're going to be taking the void strike, you might want to run warp flurry comboed with transfer peril, and you really wouldn't need the increased critical strike chance because you're not going for basically every time or every other time getting a crit. It's going to be a lower chance, significantly lower chance anyway. So you might want to go with bonus damage to carapace and unyielding for the hardest to kill enemies. For the Curios, because this is a Smite build and the chance of blowing yourself up is really low, and if you're not one of those psychers that more than once in a really, really blue moon blows themselves up, you do not need a wound in your Curios. But if you are, then 2 health and 1 wound, and if you're not, then 2 health and plus 3 stamina. If you want a really crazy block duration on your kinetic deflection, or just going all out with all 3 health. Now, for your blessings, top pick across the board, health. Second top pick across the board, toughness regeneration. My personal pick on the third one is going to be 1 sniper and 2 gunners, but it's really a little bit there. You could sneak in 1 more block efficiency, you could sneak in 1 more stamina regeneration, or you could sneak in 3 gunner resistance across the board and put 1 gunner have 60% gunner resistance, because it is the only special that you're guaranteed to get hit by at least a couple of times, and does reduce your dodge capabilities as well. And that is my high intensity Smite build. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, share. It helps others find the video. I hope this helped.